Welcome back to another first impressions, this time for the anime. May I ask for one final thing? Synopsis from any list. Scarlet has put up with her fiancé's bullying long enough. Not only is second Prince Kyle arrogant and crude, but he suddenly called off their engagement during a ball. And if things couldn't get any worse, he then accuses her of a crime she never committed. Fueled by betrayal, Scarlet unleashes her rage, giving the prince and his nobles a beatdown they will never forget. So this show, we have our main character Scarlet, the woman in the middle, wearing red, therefore the name. And similar to other shows, we have her as a noblewoman engaged to the prince, in this case the second Prince Kyle, and for some reason he is dissolving their engagement. Pretty simple setup. We see this like a million times. It's a similar setup to like standard isekai. We have like a setup that works. We use it here. Fair enough. However, this is all we have in common with the other stories in the same vein. Because instead of being like, oh, I'm going to try to live a new life, find new people, or try to do something else, there are a lot of these stories that can go in wildly different directions. Scarlet is a little bit different. Her nickname, or her name generally, Scarlet, is not only because she's wearing red, and that she's wearing red clothing, she likes to do a little bit dancing. And that is what she's doing here. Instead of being like, oh, trying to do better, getting banished, whatever, she just beats the hell out of everyone. And I mean everyone. The very first person she is beating down is not the prince, not the nobleman. It is the little quote-unquote heroine that is, next to the prince. And she is not holding back. She is insane. She is fighting everyone, even though the nobles, they suck, they can't really fight. And it is very refreshing. I like this a lot. She does have somewhat of a short temper, however, she's not lashing out. She is able to hold back whenever you get on her nerves. However, you should probably stop getting on her nerves whenever you trigger, whenever you trigger the vein on her, forehead. But in this case, she does not care. She is seemingly pretty high up in the noble world, and therefore it seems like people can't really do anything against it if she decides to punch people. Now, she does only punch people that she sees as deserving to be punched, which is, again, she is able to hold back. But it is very satisfying, very satisfying. In so many of these stories, people get mistreated, and you have like people that deserve to be punished, and the main character is like, oh no, and I'm giving them a second chance, and Scarlet is like, hey yo, let me punch you. And naturally the other party is like, how about you don't punch me? And Scarlet is, how about I do anyway? And it is cathartic. It is very enjoyable to see a character, even the main character, that is just willing to go and punish people she sees as deserving of punishment. It is so nice. I like these kinds of stories. They are so rare, where you have characters that are able to just go and follow their moral compass of disregarding if it is right or wrong, and just punish people. It is so rare. I really enjoy that. He's you know, naturally we also go and we have some relationships building. We have the first prince who's very interested in her, but not in the, oh, she's so sexy, or I want her as my wife or whatever, but because he sees her as very interesting. Because she is willing to go and, you know, fight. Because she's a noble woman and noble man and woman, they're not really known to fight themselves. They probably would just send someone in their stead to fight. But she does not hold back. She does have her nickname. She has the Mad Dog, a noble woman, was a nickname she got as a child, which this is not because she is in this age. She was always like this, which is very interesting. Again, only really attacking people she sees as deserving to be attacked. And just enjoyable. Just enjoyable. This could be a very interesting show. I do want to showcase a little bit of the fight. This is the big beatdown against the nobleman, so you have been warned. Here we go. There we go. Don't want to show too much. This should have been enough. Animation is good. I always struggle. It is not fantastic, but it is good. It is enjoyable to watch. The character is very nice to follow because she's doing stuff that we do not see as much. I feel like I wish there were more characters like this. I do not like the wishy-washy, oh, I'm a good guy and I'm not going to do anything remotely evil. You know, sometimes you just have to do it. And there's not much else. We follow her naturally as she is now as she got rid of her engagement, she now doesn't have to hold back, because one of the reasons she was not really fighting beforehand was because she was engaged to the prince and it would look bad if she was fighting. Now she is free and she can now let her fist do the talking whenever it is important. Ratings wise, any list I already scrolled past. 76% mean score. My anime list 7.83 with 6k votes, so this is pretty popular. And I would say solid 8 out of 10. It is just enjoyable. It is nice to see a character just go and roll with the punches, literally. And this could be a very enjoyable, somewhat different show to the normal, oh, I'm a good guy, that we get far too much in anime.